Welcome to Beatsource Tech. My name is Mojaxx and today we have a first look at something which I think is pretty exciting. It's the new version 5 of DJ Pro from Algoriddim. Yes, the new version of DJ Pro 5.0 is here and it brings with it some really impressive new stuff. One note before we begin, although Algoriddim did recently make massive improvements to their Windows version, 5.0 is only for macOS and iOS at the moment. But that's the thing to keep in mind. All of this stuff I'm about to show you is not only available on Mac laptops, but iPads and iPhones too. Firstly, let's talk stems. Algoriddim's neural mix real-time stem separation technology was hugely innovative at launch, but it was later eclipsed in quality terms by both Serato and Virtual DJ with their Stems 2.0. To get DJ back in contention, the company have joined forces with AudioShake, who are one of the leading names in audio separation. Big labels will often use their technology to create stems of tracks so they can be remastered. I've only had the beta of 5.0 a few days, but in just that time, I can tell you that the quality of the new version of Neural Mix is absolutely up there with, and possibly even superior to, Serato stems and Virtual DJ's 2.0 stems. I'm sure that each platform will be stronger or weaker with different tracks, but I've made a comparison video which will be on YouTube to accompany this one, so you can judge for yourself. Ultimately, the quality of Neural Mix 2.0 is absolutely usable for me when DJing now 100%. It also seems to be fairly undemanding too. It runs without fuss on my 3-year-old iPhone 12 Pro Max and my Intel-powered 2019 MacBook Pro. Virtual DJ Stems 2.0 isn't supported in real time on Intel Macs at all. Overall, Algoriddim have nailed this aspect now. The second thing to discuss is the new Crossfader Fusion tech. This is a series of different effects which can be applied to the crossfader, enabling creative ways to blend between tracks. One note, at this stage it only works with controllers. You can't use it with an external mixer even if it supports MIDI output. I'd love to see that happen in the future, but for now let me show you how it works. So to explain this Crossfader Fusion stuff, I'm going to have to just demonstrate it to you because, yeah, it needs to be shown and seen to be believed, really. It's pretty neat. So we have this new option down at the bottom. We go in Crossfader Effects on, and now we've got EQ set. So we can hear as we come across, it's going to fade in the low end. So that one's fairly self-explanatory. Filter, same idea but a bit more extreme. Dissolve is where it starts to bring in more than one element, so we've got some kind of echo delay kind of stuff going on here as well. You can hear it tail off. And it does behave slightly differently depending on how fast you move the fader. Tremolo. Lunar Echo. You can hear it's doing like, you know, EQ and a bit of white noise. But all just with one control, just with that crossfader. Sweet. riser. I really like the idea that these could be very useful for transitioning between tracks where you've got very, real key clashes harmonically that is not working at all. Then we're into the neural mix stuff, so this is vocal sustain. So we'll come from this side, so we hear the vocal. Just the vocal there going on in the background now, until it's gone completely. Just kind of tails the vocal off. Vocal cut, this one's very neat. So this one I think is designed by DJ Angelo. Basically what you do, as you're bringing in the crossfader, it's only opening it up for the vocal. The rest of it is not there until you cross over the halfway point. Then as you bring the fader over, in come the rest of the elements. Let's do that again. Then we have harmonic sustain. So you can hear the rest of it's disappearing and just the kind of instrumental stuff is going on as it comes across. Very neat indeed. And then we have drum swap. So there's not really any drums on this section, but if we bring this across, it's just bringing in the drums from the track on the right hand side. This is all stuff you could do manually with the neural mix controls, but of course that's going to take multiple hands. Here it's all just one movement. Still got that tail on the vocal there as well. There's lots of combinations of different effects. And there aren't really any drums on this side, but now we can hear. So it's taken the drums out on here. It's swapped for what we have over here, just those like hats. And then obviously combined with, the now really improved neural mix sound, I think this is working really well. Then there's another element which we look down the bottom here, we have tempo blend. So if we leave that off, it's not going to do anything with the tempo. But if I was now to load up a different track at a different BPM on this side, let's do that. So let's go down and load up something at, let's say 120. Just do something with a kick at the beginning. Make sure tempo blend is enabled, and let's do the sweep. So now we're going to get this loaded, get it ready. And you can see the BPM is changing as we come across. Yeah, some DJs will turn their nose up at that, but instant transition tracks for any track. I'm not averse to the idea of that. That is pretty interesting. If you're a genre hopping DJ, some real potential there. Combine that with different versions. You know, let's do it with the drum swap. Maybe add on a separate effect as well to kind of transition out. Yeah, some very, very neat ideas there indeed. The final thing to talk about, and for me the most impressive and innovative part of 5.0, is the new fluid beat grid detection. This is simply quite astonishing, and I was blown away the first time I was shown it in a demo. DJ Angelo was quietly smiling as he showed me how the software detected the grid in Alphabet Aerobics by Blackalicious, which increases in tempo as the track progresses. After getting the beta, I tried that track for myself and saw that yes, DJ follows the BPM perfectly as the track goes on. Just for comparison's sake, I analysed the same track in Virtual DJ, which decided the whole thing was 110 BPM. Rekordbox gave it a good try but was off for most of the track, and Serato DJ Pro just decided it didn't want to bother. DJ even comfortably outperformed Ableton Live when it came to that track. Here's a look at some more. So I'm going to show you this beat gridding in action. This is actually kind of unbelievably good. I can't play audio for most of the tracks because they're major label tracks. We might have a copyright issue, but I'll play you one track from DJcity Records first of all. And this is a transition track. So it goes from 126 to 106. Right, let me load it up. It's already analysed it because I've played it once already. But I've done no manual intervention with this whatsoever. It's just done it on its own. So we start at 126. It's got the downbeat. It's there. It's rolling. Now we can see the tempo starting to go down as it follows that transition. And there we are, 106. And we are 106 then. There's the downbeat. Right through the track. So good. And then, so let me show you some other stuff as well. We have other transition tracks. So yeah, here's Journey, Don't Stop Believing, 100 to 106. It starts off on the 100. It's got those downbeats there. Then it goes up. And then we get to the 122. All the way through. Right to the end. And there it is. Still locked onto those downbeats at 122 at the end. Sweet Child of Mine, Guns N' Roses. Again, we're kicking off at 105. It's found those downbeats. It's following along. Come to the transition part. Up it goes until we get to 126. And it follows throughout. So why is this useful? Well, firstly, obviously, if you want to do, you know, really long blends, you can just hit sync. You can use the neural mix and just run the vocals of a track. A really drift, you know, a track that normally would really drift. You can just run the vocals of a track on a third or a fourth deck over your other two decks that are playing, and it's going to stay locked in place because these grids are just following along. And it's not just transitions up or down. There's tracks that are just a nightmare to grid in general because the tempos fluctuate all over the place. Back in Black, for example, from AC/DC. This one is awful to grid. The tempo fluctuates insanely. But there we go. It's found it. It's locked in. We can see we've got 90.7, 93, 95. But it's always on those downbeats. All the way through. I've just never experienced gridding like this anywhere. So good. Again, TNT from AC/DC. There's the downbeat. It's got it. 126 dead. 124.3. So anything that fluctuates, it's going to keep up with it. It's going to keep going and go throughout. Now, it isn't completely infallible. Jackson 5 ABC, for example. This one I did have to just tell it where the downbeat was, but it followed it like that's my downbeat that I've set there on number 3. I set that there, but that then set it up largely correctly for the rest of the track. ABC is just, yeah, all kinds of little fills and stuff. It's all over the shop, but again, this is now usable. I could use this in the mix for a really long blend with neural mix on or without it on. And it's going to make sure that your effects are synchronized to the BPM properly as well throughout the track. And that is just an impossible track. I tried to do my own quantized edit of that in Ableton and gave up. It was that hard. So the fact that this has just done it automatically, ridiculous, absolutely absurd. Come and get your love, Redbone. There's the downbeat. There it goes, and it just follows throughout. And this one is not fluctuating that much in the different sections, but once you get to another section, they can go up and down. Like there's 107.4 to 108. It's a very kind of deceptive one, Redbone, but it's following it all the way through. Zero fuss, 109 there, 107. There's just little moments where it goes up and down. Again, so this beat gridding, it's never going to be completely infallible. As I say, nothing ever is. But this is so much just streets ahead of everything else I've ever used. Just on a different level to all the other DJ software out there. Incredibly impressive stuff. So in conclusion, DJ 5.0 absolutely rocks. The app was already very mature, feature-rich and stable, and with these new updates in there, I could absolutely see myself switching over to it fully. Except there's one hurdle, and that's hardware. Algoriddim do support a decent amount of kit, either natively or with their own mappings, but there just aren't that many devices on the market designed for DJ, and the company don't seem to be keeping up with non-native gear in the same way that Virtual DJ does. For example, it was lucky I happened to be borrowing a DDJ Flex 4 from Pioneer DJ whilst I was shooting this video, because the other 3 controllers I had to hand in my studio, the Numark Mixstream Pro, the Denon DJ Prime Go and the Hercules T7 aren't supported by DJ on either Mac or iOS. And I would love to have used the beta at my gig last Saturday, but the venue had an XDJ RX3, which is still not supported in DJ 2 years after release. Add to that the fact that some of my other hardware of choice, like the DJ MS11, isn't fully supported with no waveforms etc, and I'm left in a situation where I just don't feel I can make the jump to DJ completely at this time. So I would implore Algoriddim to shift their focus to expanding hardware compatibility next, because with all of this cool stuff to use in the software, my body is ready. But right now, my equipment is not. So there you go, a first look at DJ Pro 5 from Algoriddim. There's some stuff in here that's got me incredibly pumped. Like the beat gridding, it's not just next level, it puts all other platforms into the dirt. It is that much better. It is unbelievably good. I kept throwing tracks in there that I know are a nightmare to beat grid manually, let alone automatically, and it just ate them up. No fuss. First time. It was blowing my mind. That beat gridding is so good. The neural mix, the new version of that, definitely up there with the best on the market. It's there, it's equivalent now, it's great. I love it. Sounds great, would be very happy to use it. The Crossfader Fusion stuff, super cool, very creative, lots of great ideas in there, stuff I'd like to work with. There is the limitation right now that it only works with controllers, not with hardware mixers, but hopefully there will be some kind of workaround for that in the future. So yeah, 5.0, absolutely killing it, fantastic. There is the restriction of the hardware thing. There's not that much hardware on the market that is designed around Algoriddim's DJ Pro. The stuff that I want to use or often have to use at venues, some of it is either not fully supported or not supported at all, and that is an issue for me as a working DJ. I don't take a controller out to most of my gigs. Those that I do, I could happily use DJ Pro. Other gigs where it's like using some of the venue's equipment or some of mine combined with theirs, etc., it's not going to be practical. So I really want to see Algoriddim working on expanding the compatibility of their software with as much hardware as possible moving forward, because I'm kind of ready to switch. That beat gridding alone, that's kind of got me ready to switch to DJ Pro. I'm kind of there. I'm ready and waiting as long as that final piece of the hardware puzzle is solved for me. Let us know in the comments, how are you feeling about version 5? What's got you excited about it? And are you maybe ready to switch your platform of choice as we move into 2024? Thank you for watching this episode of Beatsource Tech. I do hope you've enjoyed it or found it useful. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel and you turn on notifications to make sure you don't miss any future videos. I'll see you next time.